Time now for First Alert Weather with meteorologist Rob Nucatola.
All right, we're going to get started on that 24-hour temperature cast. I do expect to see a bunch of numbers to start with a 6 today. I think tomorrow fewer. And maybe that leads into Saturday morning, too, as we slowly start to bring back a little bit more of that moisture, a little bit more of that humidity. We're not talking middle of summer levels here, where it's going to be icky sticky all the time, but it will be a little different. And the more moisture that we do have, it makes it harder for the overnight temperatures to get as low. I still think we're talking middle and upper 80s this afternoon. Some of us got up over 90 yesterday. Hopefully we don't do that today. And while 24-hour temperature cast wants to keep those numbers way up in the 70s tomorrow morning, I think we're talking low 70s for most areas. Now, I don't see a lot of clouds just yet. I see some trying to sneak in from the west, and I think it's western areas today that are going to have the better chances to pick up more clouds and maybe even a couple of scattered showers. We're at 70 still in Valdosta. Tallahassee's at 68. Thomasville's at 66. Still with those dew point numbers someplace in the middle and upper 60s. So the air itself still a little on the dry side. That's going to change a little bit as our winds start to shift a little bit more, and that's why I think tomorrow morning a little different setup with these temperatures. Look at Blakely, where it's only 63 this morning. Bainbridge and Quincy with Thomasville at 66. It's 68 degrees in Mariana and in Moultrie, also 68 in Live Oak this morning. Now, it's not breezy. It's not going to be breezy, but I think today that wind shifts a little bit. Yesterday it was more northwest, north, and northeast. Today it's going to turn more east or even southeast, and that'll bring in some of that moisture. So far, so good. Most visibility numbers are doing pretty well. In Moultrie, we're down to 1/4 mile. There'll be some spots with a little patchy fog. You see all this down across parts of the Gulf. It's not anything organized. It's a bunch of tropical moisture just sitting there, and we've got drier air to the north that's sort of starting to mingle with that more humid air. So as all that comes together, we start to get some changes, and if neither one can really push the other one away, and in order for that to happen, we need some help in the upper part of the atmosphere, then we just sort of sit between or near both of these air masses, and we expect things to be a little topsy-turvy, a little flipsy-flopsy, and I think that's what we're looking at for today. So, yeah, the Futurecast wants to bring in more clouds and maybe the chance for a couple of showers today and tomorrow, but notice it's not widespread, everybody gets wet kind of rain. It still feels like western areas have the best shots to see the most showers, but we can't rule out a couple of showers in other areas. We'll put the chances today still pretty small. It's going to take most of the day to bring back that moisture. I think tomorrow those rain chances go up a little bit. Now, as we take a look at the tropics, there's a couple of spots that are going to jump out. Hurricane Kirk and Tropical Storm Leslie are out there way across the Atlantic. Neither one ever expected to impact any land areas. The best kind of tropical systems, the ones that just stay out over the open waters. And of course, we're still talking about the potential for something to develop here. Those computers were really on that last week, but we said just let's slow down and let's watch and see how things happen. Sometimes nothing materializes from there, and so far nothing is materializing. I see some pockets of showers in the Central Caribbean. They don't look like much, and I don't see anything with any organization in the Gulf. I don't expect to, but it doesn't mean something can't happen over the next 4, 5, 6 days, especially if this air mass just sits there with some of that energy and some of that moisture. So they actually, National Hurricane Center, downgrading the outlook down to a 30% shot for any development in the southern Gulf. We'll keep our eyes on it. There's nothing to get excited about or worried about, but we'll watch and we'll see. And remember, it doesn't have to be an organized, classified, named tropical system to bring rain chances. Tropical moisture itself can do that, and I think that's going to be part of the issue with our changeable forecast over the next couple of days. Now, we'll get a little bit breezy on the Gulf today. Winds out of the east 8 to 18. I think they're going to stay a little bit breezy for the next few days as that energy and that moisture, it's there, even if it's not organized. 60s and 70s. We'll go with mostly clear, becoming more partly cloudy. I think the clouds increase as the day goes on. We'll have some sunshine. We'll have more clouds. I'm going to leave the rain chances like 20, 30%. I'm not expecting very many showers today. More west, more southwest. That's where we have our best chances to see those showers, and a lot of them on the other side of the Apalachicola River. Low 70s tonight. I'd like to see a few more upper 60s, but I think the clouds and the moisture are going to make that hard to happen. And as we take a look at the next 7 days, well, I don't see a lot of 90s there, so we got that going for us. I'd like to see more 60s for morning temperatures, but if we do up that moisture at least a little bit over the next couple of days, it's going to make it harder for more areas to fall back into the 60s. Notice the rain chances are not super, super high. We're like in that 30 or 40% range for most of it, except for tomorrow. I think tomorrow we'll put it about a 50-50 shot, and it does feel like the best chances are still going to be to the west. We will watch, we will update. I expect this forecast to change, especially as we sit kind of on the periphery of a couple of different air masses.